And we're live.
So today, we'd love to welcome you to this free masterclass called the new 4-step framework for a profitable therapy practice.
And a huge welcome from me, Paula MacArthur.
And me, Emma Sargent.
And together we are co-founders of Therapy Marketing School.
Now, you may be here because you've seen us live on Facebook talking about all things therapy marketing. If you are, then welcome. And if you found your way here another way, then a huge welcome to you too.
Now, we have a lot to cover today, but before we do, we just want to make sure that you're in the right place. So if you're a qualified therapist and you already have a practice or you're starting one soon, but you're struggling with getting consistent clients and income from it, you're in the right place.
If you feel like your therapy practice has incredible potential, not only to help people, but to provide a great income for you, but you haven't really figured out how to do it, you're in the right place.
And thirdly, if you want to have a system in place so you generate a steady stream of therapy clients that pay, stay and refer, you are in the right place.
So this masterclass is not for you if you're just here to throw tomatoes at our faces.
Exactly.
And you plan on watching this entire presentation and then get massively upset when we give you the opportunity to invest in a program that offers the coaching you need to create a successful and profitable therapy practice. So don't do that.
Okay, but our promise to you in return is we will deliver as much value as humanly possible during this free 60-minute masterclass. Nothing today we're going to teach you is based on theory, and everything you learn has already been tested and proven to work by over 1,000 therapists.
And in return, we ask that you keep an open mind about the new information you're going to learn today, that you treat us and other attendees with respect, and that you take plenty of notes so you can begin to implement what you learn as soon as this training is over.
Some tips for watching this masterclass: get in a quiet room, turn off your phone so you can devote your attention, full attention to this training, and close any extra tabs and apps that you might have open to increase the bandwidth so you can, watch it and really enjoy an hour of free training.
So during this masterclass, you'll learn 3 of the biggest mistakes to avoid if you want to attract lots of your ideal clients, which I am sure you do. And you're going to learn our exact 4-step framework for growing a successful and profitable therapy practice. This is the exact same framework that we teach inside our paid implementation program, the Therapist Client Attraction System.
So first things first, we want you to know about some bonuses. These are fast acting bonuses. They're only available for 15 minutes at the end of this presentation for those who decide to enroll. Now the first bonus that we have is our private fast track coaching session. And this is a private 30-minute call with us to get you up and running as fast as possible with a very clear understanding of exactly what you want to do first and for the first 90 days of the program. So that's bonus number 1.
And the second bonus that we have is our quick cash injection method. This one shows you how to make an extra $1,000 from your therapy practice in the next 30 days without spending a single dollar on ads or promotion, just simply repackaging the offer you have right now to the clients and contacts you have right now. You're going to love this one because it's 100% ethical and simple and easy. In fact, anyone we share this with just kicks themselves straight away. They're like, why didn't I know this before?
Exactly. So if you had to choose right now which bonus you'd vote for, number 1, which gives you 30 minutes private coaching to get you started really quickly, or number 2, which will teach you how to inject an additional $1,000 of income into your practice in the next 30 days, which one would you choose? Let me just choose. Let me just stop for a little bit of water here. We always drink tea. We always drink tea during our masterclasses, don't we? Okay, let's see what you're voting for. Number 1, number 2. Just check on the screen over here. Okay, there's a few 2s coming in now. A few 1s. Interesting. Okay, well, make sure you let us know which of those 2 bonuses you'd prefer. And of course, some of you might be getting both of them anyway. So I want to talk to you about IKEA. Now, I love IKEA. And if you love IKEA as much as I do, let me know in the comments, okay? Tell me you're an IKEA fan and I'm not the only one. And if you don't love IKEA, well, I don't understand that at all, but that's fine too. And you can type no. Now, over here at Therapy Marketing School at our office, we have a love-hate relationship with IKEA. You can see from the bookshelves in the back here, big IKEA fans. I love it. Emma hates it because every time I go to IKEA with our company card, I come back to the office with an armful of office stuff that she has to help me put together. Now, she is the best at that. I want nothing at all to do with it. I am dreadful. I love picking things out, but I need someone else to put it all together for me. So Emma always rolls her eyes when I come back to HQ with a new filing cabinet or shelving or something.
It's true. So we want you to imagine for a moment that IKEA is offering a $100,000 prize. So that's $100,000 cash for whatever crazy reason. There are no taxes on it either. So you get the whole huge sack of money yourself.
Okay, so just imagine that. But in order to claim your prize of $100,000 from IKEA, you need to assemble this IKEA bed in 30 minutes.
Now that's a stretch.
You have to do it in 30 minutes or less. Now, this is harder than it looks. This is the exact same bed that one of my sons, Flynn to be exact, has in his room. And it took me a lot longer than 30 minutes to assemble, trust me. There are lots of pieces, and it's also important that you put it together in the right way, because if you don't, a child may fall out.
Well, and that happened to my son, you know. He fell out of that exact same bed.
Potentially a life is at stake if you put this bed together incorrectly. So there's a lot of pressure to keep a child safe and happy, and you also want to win that $100,000, right? So in order to do that, you have two choices.
And here are those two choices. So you could go to an expert. So an IKEA expert like this lovely lady right here with a stripy IKEA shirt on. Let's call her Pam. You might have a better name for her. I don't know. If you have, go ahead and type it into the chat box. Maybe, I don't know, Tina, I don't know. Let's say Pam. Pam over here is a complete expert. She knows exactly how to put this bed together. She's done it hundreds of times, not just in 30 minutes, but in 15 minutes. So she's an absolute pro, and it's the smartest, most efficient, quickest way for you to learn how to get that bed put together. So we can pay Pam to teach us how to do it so that we can win the prize. However, we also have this lady on the right. Let's call her DIY Debbie, who is going to try and do it herself. But of course, it's really slow and painful. So she's not an expert. She's trying to do it herself. She's trying to assemble that bed in this high pressure situation with no help so that she can get that $100,000 sack of cash. But it's really stressful. So it's really obvious, isn't it, that the best way to win the 100,000 is to hire Pam, an expert who would teach you how to do it. So we want to be the equivalent of Pam for you and show you how to build your therapy business. We're the therapy marketing experts, and we want to guide you and facilitate the creation or growth of your very own profitable therapy practice with a steady flow of ideal clients using our expertise and our step-by-step process.
See, learning with speed and efficiency from experts is the number one way that we grew our business.
Yeah, it is. But it's also something else that made the biggest impact. But first, we just want to tell you a bit about ourselves.
So I am Paula MacArthur.
And I'm Emma Sargent.
And we're both working mums and co-founders of Therapy Marketing School. And when we're not helping therapists get more clients, we can probably be found running around after our teenage kids, our pets, our partners, generally trying to keep on top of very busy lives. And we wouldn't have it any other way, would we, Emma?
We wouldn't.
So let us know in the comments if this sounds familiar, If you are also super busy, just like us, type busy or whatever other word you want to use to describe it in the comments. Now, we also have a very active Facebook group exclusively for therapists. It's called Thriving Therapists. Some of you might already be members of it. And this group has over 200,000.
Just 2,000.
2,000. Well, it might be 200,000 by now.
Yeah, might be.
2,000 members from over 40 countries, offering over 25 different modalities of therapy. And we also write for lots of therapy magazines, publications, talk at industry events, and have appeared on the BBC, Channel 4, and in Psychology's magazine. And in 2018, for our role leading our really brilliant, vibrant community of therapists, we were invited to join Facebook's community leadership program as well.
Yeah, that was exciting, wasn't it?
It's brilliant. So I'm going to introduce Emma. Then I can brag about you in a way that you couldn't yourself.
All right.
So Emma put her psychology degree to good use when she went straight into sales after graduating, very quickly running big sales teams. And her next step was training and coaching salespeople in sales, leadership and mindsets. And she ran a very successful training business working all over the world. Now, because she was so good at what she did, all her business came from word of mouth. So she didn't really have to think about a marketing strategy. Until two things happened that spelled disaster. She and her family moved out of London, and her clients thought she had disappeared. And then the recession hit. And the two things together meant that they had to pick themselves up and learn from successful business people very fast. So she's not one to give up without a fight, and knew that the fastest way to success would be to learn from people who really knew what they were doing. So she flew to the USA multiple times. Over the next few years, lots of air miles there, Emma.
Lots of air miles.
Investing and implementing. And after a few years of dramatic growth, she began consulting to top coaches and therapists who wanted to position themselves as niche specialists, and realized how much she liked working with therapists. And she teamed up with one of the world's leading therapists to develop her training school, and also to teach her newly qualified therapist students how to get clients. What about me now? What about me?
Yeah, I can brag about you now, Paula.
Yes,
so Paula has worked with some of the world's biggest brands, running accounts in a top London direct marketing agency worth millions of dollars. It was a very stressful job and involved really tracking the success of every marketing dollar that the client spent. That's, of course, the beauty of direct marketing. So after carving herself a brilliant career in marketing, she had 3 young boys, well, obviously babies, in quick succession, and found that she didn't want to juggle such a stressful job with bringing up a young family. So she went into events, again running huge accounts, and then decided to run a property business with her husband. Now, that all went swimmingly until, again, the recession hit, that pesky recession.
Yep.
And she realised that she needed to bring her marketing skills not only up to date, but also to apply them to small businesses. Now, we were definitely destined to meet, because she also knew that the fastest way to success was to invest in expert help, and went to the very same event in the USA that I was at. And although we didn't meet there, our paths crossed many times at many more events, and we became firm friends, didn't we? We are friends, aren't we?
We are.
By chance, Paula ended up consulting the same top therapist that she told you about just now. And over lunch one day, we realised that actually if we put our heads and our skills together, we would be able to offer therapists everything they needed to learn how to run a thriving practice and get as many clients as they needed. And since then, we've helped well over 1,000 therapists.
But to be honest, we're better together.
We are.
We are. And we feel we are so much better combining our skills and our experience, helping people like you who make a difference. We both want and always do learn with speed and efficiency as much as we can.
Yep.
And lots of our clients want exactly the same thing, to work with speed and efficiency and learn from experts. I mean, that's the thing in common for all of our most successful students.
That's exactly right. But most importantly, our therapists are able to do what they love to do, helping people, but without being overworked or hustling for clients. Nobody wants that. They are regarded by their friends, family, and peers as professionals, and their practice helps them generate enough income to support themselves. They've made a healthy return on all that therapy training that they've already invested in. And for some, that's over $20,000. And you can do this too.
Okay, you can do this too, but you have to avoid the 3 biggest mistakes that therapists like you trying to build profitable, successful practices too often make if you want great results like our students. Now, if you're making these mistakes, please don't feel bad. They are really, really easy mistakes to make, and they're also incredibly easy to fix. And that's what we want to help you to do really fast.
Yes, we do. So, mistake number 1 is focusing on marketing tools and tactics instead of your strategy. Now, we see this a lot with therapists, getting very distracted or overwhelmed by all the marketing tools and tactics out there, like Instagram or Facebook or Google Ads or email marketing, instead of stepping back and focusing on their core strategy. Now, by strategy, we mean your basic plan to get you the results that you want. In fact, most therapists don't even have a plan and operate this scattergun approach to marketing their services without any basic foundations in place. So that's the first mistake. Well, and this is totally understandable.
I was going to say that. It's
Oh,
not
were
your
you?
fault. But it's not your fault.
It's
Carry
not.
on, Emma.
It's not your
I always
fault.
like to say it's not your fault.
No.
It's really not your fault.
It really
Carry
isn't.
On. Carry on. I
Well,
apologise.
it's because the internet is packed with endless and often conflicting marketing advice, and very little of it shows a deep understanding of the business of therapy. So this advice isn't going to work anyway. Now, and much of this advice is years out of date too. It's just not the way it works anymore, because tactics really change quickly. So you become overwhelmed and confused, feeling that you have to keep learning all these new tools and tactics without understanding why you're even doing it. Right,
Yep.
Paula?
Yep, it's crazy.
And you waste time and money. In fact, you may as well throw your money into the wind, to put it politely. You dabble at everything and never master anything, and may even write off things that could work well because you don't know what's working. That's the problem. Now, this mistake often ends in exhaustion and inertia, and I'm wondering if that sounds familiar. So type yes in the comments if that is you right now.
And I've got a couple of people who typed in yes
Oh,
immediately.
yes, immediately, of course.
There's somebody else. Yeah, we hear you.
We
hear
really
you.
do.
Okay. When you stop making this mistake and craft a solid strategy, a solid plan of action, you will immediately have so much more time to be with clients. And we know that's what you actually want to be doing with your time. You spend less money, you know where you're going, you won't keep getting distracted, and you start getting the results you want. So what you need instead is a plan and a system to follow to make what can seem very daunting really simple.
So here's Wendy saying, now she's a therapist specialising in hypnobirthing from Brighton, England, and this is what she had to say about the client attraction system. Paula and Emma are just fantastic when the task of setting up your therapy business seems so daunting. They make it easy.
Thank you, Wendy. So mistake number 2. And don't worry, so many therapists are guilty of this for all the right reasons. Mistake number 2 is trying to help everyone.
So yes, being everything to everyone confuses clients, and it makes you look like everyone else. So if you just scan down a list of therapists in any direction, you'll see people offering help for a massive long list of things: anxiety, depression, fertility, nutrition, smoking cessation, exam nerves, weight loss, phobias, relationship, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And so it goes on. You get the picture. And they say that they specialize in all of those things. Well, you can't specialize in a huge long list. Here's the rub. It's in the very nature of a great therapist to want to help everyone. That's why you become a therapist in the first place. But if you want a business, not just an expensive hobby, this is a big mistake. And if you try and please everyone, what happens? Well, the only way that you can compete is by lowering your price. And when you try to help everyone, you will never be positioned as an expert. So go ahead and type everyone in the comments if this is you.
I'm sure that there's going to be quite a few of those.
Very probably.
For all the right
it's
reasons.
Really common, isn't it? I mean, really common.
Yeah.
Anybody typed in there?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Another one. Somebody saying yes. I think that's to being overwhelmed.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. We hear you. We understand. We really do. We want you to be the automatic expert in your niche. Even though it's scary and counterintuitive, we really understand this, Stop trying to help everyone and extraordinary things start to happen. You will actually attract more clients, not fewer. Your marketing is much easier to plan and implement. Clients know what you stand for, you become much easier to refer, and you soon become an automatic expert in your chosen niche. Next slide. There we go.
And here's Celia. She was originally from Portugal, but she's now based in London, and she understands this. I qualified as a therapist and have the knowledge and experience to help clients. However, my biggest challenge was procuring clients. I did not know how to reach them in the most effective way, and I did not know which type of clients I wanted. It was also overwhelming. Signing up, helping me with tackling all the issues step by step. As a result, I know what my niche is, the type of clients I want, and I am working on my digital platforms to get my message across to my clients. I feel confident about the whole process, and I know that I can count on Paula and Emma. Thank you, Celia.
And indeed you can. And mistake number 3 is believing that investing in new therapy training will get you lots of new clients. Now, we know that great training is really essential, and you can be totally forgiven for thinking that new training equals new clients, but it doesn't. And that's not your fault either.
No.
With all the best intentions, you sign up to learn a new therapy skill. And we know that most therapists invest $10,000 to $15,000, if not more, in their training. So you might expect some sort of automatic return on your not inconsiderable investment.
Indeed. In fact, many trainers will lead you to believe that their therapy training is the one that will get you clients. And this is simply not true. It's simply not how business in the real world works. The cost of making this mistake will not only hit you financially every time you pay for new training. You'll get caught in the endless search for the new magic therapy technique that gets you clients as soon as you graduate. You'll have to keep educating existing clients on your latest therapy. And by the way, they don't really care about that. Clients just want a solution to their pain. How they get that solution is not on the top of their list. Quite simply, it will cost you clients if you keep on getting new and new and new and more therapy. You're going to get caught promoting a type of therapy rather than you, losing your ability to differentiate yourself from all the other newly qualified XYZ therapists.
What happens when you stop making this mistake? Well, when you stop making this one, you can start getting a return on the training you already have. You can focus on yourself and what makes you different from everyone else and every other therapist. And you'll attract more clients using their language, not the language and jargon of therapy and therapy training.
Right. So, who believes they can also get a consistent flow of ideal clients every single month?
How about doubling, tripling, or quadrupling your income this year?
Yes, how about that?
Well, Gillis has. Gillis is one of our wonderful therapists in the US, in Stillwater, Minnesota, to be precise. And she says, I cannot thank you enough. The coaching sessions and the training has made such a difference to my bottom line. I finally got clear on my niche, kicking and screaming.
Yes, indeed, she did.
But it really works. Just because I have clarity, clients are starting to come in. I got 6 brand new clients in January 2019. My income has jumped from $350 to $2,750 per month. Thanks, I'm excited about my future.
And by the way, this, she told me, after only 2 weeks of January.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, you can have a profitable, successful therapy practice without spending loads of money and time marketing.
But you won't make enough money without a strategy in place. You won't get a return on all that investment in your therapy training, and you won't earn the respect of those people, and you know who they are,
Yep.
who doubted your decision to become a professional therapist.
You need a strategy and a system, and that all starts with our new 4-step framework.
So let's just take you through this. Here they are. Step 1, commit. Step 2, build. Step 3, attract. And step 4, convert. And let's take you through those one by one.
So in this vital step, step 1, commit, there's a series of decisions and actions that you need to make and you need to commit to in order to lay the foundations for a successful therapy business. Now, these include your vision, your mission, your niche, understanding your ideal client, your story, and crafting your message. You will never, I repeat, never have a successful therapy business, I'm sorry, but it's true, without these things. And any more money and time spent on marketing without these will just be wasted.
So what is your vision for your therapy business? And by that we mean, what do you want it to become? What are your dreams and plans?
And have you decided on the mission for your business? And by that, we mean, what do you want to do for your clients? And what will be your defining values?
What about your niche? That's the therapy solution that you want to be the expert in. And have you defined in detail, really in detail, your ideal client? I don't mean a range of clients, your one ideal client, so that you can connect with them deeply and understand exactly what will attract them to you.
And finally, what is your story? This will be the cornerstone of your marketing. And what message will you craft so that your ideal clients connect with you and want to work only with you? Now, when you've completed this first step, everything will start to slot into place so much more easily, and you'll have to work less and less to attract your ideal clients. You'll have complete clarity over what you're offering, and you'll stop getting distracted and overwhelmed. You know, most therapists don't complete this final step, this first vital step even, because it's really not their fault. They don't understand the importance of committing to each and every one of these foundation decisions. Or they might randomly do some and then not the others, meaning they will constantly be taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So step 1 will give you the confidence and focus you need to move on to the next 3 steps. So Alison is a colour therapist and has built a really successful and profitable business over the past couple of years. And she now has her own training rooms and is training other therapists in her methodology with commitment and focus. She says, I love this group. I'm learning so much about video, Facebook, marketing my therapy business. I have focused my attention and created a strategy that does not feel overwhelming. Paula and Emma have a vast range of knowledge, and to top it all, it's fun. Well, we try to make it fun. We do. A required resource if you're a therapist looking for support in marketing.
So step 2 in our framework is build. In this step, with your foundation commitments in place, you can build your presence online and offline so it attracts the right clients and actively repels the ones you don't want to work with, not the ones that you do want to work with. You learn to become visible in the way that you want to be seen by your prospects. For example, have you even checked what a potential client might see or read about you if they Googled your name? Perhaps an old video or information about the 9 to 5 job you used to have. What about Facebook?
That always happens when you say Facebook, doesn't it?
It does.
It's the same for a lot of our
It
therapists.
does. Well, yes, and Facebook. Well, love it or loathe it, your prospects are searching for you right now. So it's essential to set your profile, your pages and groups correctly, so you are in control of the message. If you're not building correctly and consistently, you are at risk of really confusing potential clients, or even worse, appearing to be unprofessional.
Complete the build step correctly and the benefits are huge. With a consistent message and personal brand, clients know exactly who you are and what you stand for. Now, most therapists don't complete this step because they don't know what to do. They think it's much more complicated than it actually is, and they're fearful of what they see as really complicated technical tasks. So they often just ignore this stage altogether and continue to confuse and repel the clients that they actually want to work with.
Yeah, you do not want to be doing that. So here's Maroof Akhtar. I think it's a great tool, especially for people like me who've never done marketing or social media related stuff. Great, simple information that is easy to follow. Thank you, Maroof.
So step 3 is attract, and this is all about mastering no cost and low cost marketing methods. Now, this step is what will position you as what we call an attractor and the obvious choice for your ideal clients. Now, this is really important. Step 3 is all about action. Without the correct action, you won't get clients. In fact, nothing will change.
No.
You can be the best therapist in the world with a list of qualifications as long as my arm. But if you sit back waiting for the phone to ring instead of nailing step 3, you will be out of business fast.
Indeed, you will. But master this step and you will attract the right clients without having to spend any money. You will create a pool of prospects queuing up to work with you because you will become the go-to person in your niche. Now, most therapists don't do this because they become overwhelmed and assume wrongly that they have to do marketing that costs a lot of money, and they don't.
And the final step in our framework is convert. Now, this is about turning prospects into clients who pay, stay and refer. It's also about getting your therapy offer just right, so it's really easy for people to say yes.
Yeah.
And without this step, you can end up with loads of raving fans and no paying clients.
Indeed, and we've seen that.
Yeah,
haven't we?
and that means no money and no business. That means an expensive hobby.
Indeed. Now, convert is the most important step to master if you want a professional, respected therapy business, not that expensive hobby that Paula referred to.
So if this step is so important, why don't most therapists master it? Because they're too embarrassed to ask for money, and certainly not the fees that reflect the really super high value of the work that you all do. Think about it. This makes no sense at all. Great therapists literally transform people's lives. But if they don't know how to convert and make sales, guess what? They'll go out of business, back to a 9 to 5 job or into hobby mode. They won't be able to get people and they certainly won't be able to look after themselves properly. Master this final step in our framework and you can fulfill your goal of doing what you love, which is changing lives without being overworked, working for free or hustling for clients.
So the end result is a profitable and successful therapy business, a healthy return on the time and money you've invested in your training, the respect of your friends, family, peers, and anyone else who doubted you along the journey, a consistent stream of income, and most importantly, the time to work with, help, and transform as many ideal clients as you want to.
Now, this framework is not just a bunch of theory. It's been tested and proven to work by hundreds of our students across multiple therapy modalities, niches, and continents.
So if you take just one thing away from this masterclass, we want you to know that you can have a profitable, successful therapy practice without spending lots of money or spending endless hours mastering